What is up, guys? This is Jared Spalding here, and today I wanted to give you guys my silver stacking strategy. Honestly, I've never really talked about it too much. I've talked about little bits and pieces, but it's just one of those things where I don't know. I never really came and collected everything together. You know what I mean? I mentioned different stuff from it in different videos, but I never really put it into one whole video, and so that's what I want to be doing for you guys today. Now, honestly, to put the word strategy is like, I don't know, it's kind of tough because I feel like I have multiple different strategies for different aspects of stacking, but I guess I'll just explain everything I do. Everything that I think about and just my buying strategies, whatever, you know, whatever it is, I guess. So, first of all, when I'm buying silver, usually what I try to do is, I guess it depends on what I'm looking for. Let's say I'm looking for some bullion. What I'll do is I'll kind of shop around. I'll look at different places. Honestly, I'll go on eBay usually and then search up, 5-ounce silver bar and do lowest price first if I'm just looking for some good generic bullion. And just see what comes up. Maybe someone's running a good special, right, on eBay. And if so, I'll only buy from a major company. Usually I'll look. The few companies I look through is like MCM and JM Bullion. Those are the two that I'm usually looking at because honestly, they've been the best for me. They're probably my favorite silver stacking company. I'm gonna have to order something else from JM Bullion soon. It's really cool that I remember doing a review of them, and I was saying, I remember them commenting on my silver unboxing video that I did of them, and I was like, said this like halfway through the video. I was like, I doubt they watched the whole video. They'd probably just leave, a comment, and then they were saying, actually we do watch the whole video and stuff. They actually commented on it, so I thought that was pretty cool. And that's one of the things I do look for is good customer service, just because that means that the company actually cares about you somewhat, which is something, usually that would probably mean that they're not going to be as likely to rip you off is a big thing. If they care about how their customers feel about them, then they're not going to be one to probably sell you fake silver. So that's something that I like to look for. But honestly, those are the few I look through, and once I find a good deal on silver bullion, I'll usually just buy the cheapest one, obviously. Honestly, not obviously. But honestly, that's what I do. I don't usually look for numismatic bullion. I'll just go with the cheapest, 5-ounce or 10-ounce bar. Well, not 10-ounce because I don't have any of those yet, but, I might go for the cheapest 5-ounce bar I see and pick that up, right? Now, if I'm looking for something of numismatic value, I'll probably look up the coin, go to a seller that's a little bit more obscure, and I'll only go for auctions with these because bullion is usually going to reach a certain price in an auction, but these numismatic coins are really more, their value is based on what people think that they're worth, honestly. So if a bunch of people don't really know what they're looking at, and you're the only one that sees the potential of something, then I'll go for it. And I've got some of my best deals on numismatic coins doing that, going to auctions from smaller sellers and just picking up the coin, for maybe a third of its value or so. Like my 1832 bust half dollars is in pretty good condition. Actually, I'll pull it out for you right now. Hold up. Got it right here. And this camera really does not do it justice, honestly, because it's an amazing coin. Overall, just really beautiful. And I picked this thing up for $42.45, and it's valued at anywhere from 120 to 140. So that was a really good deal. I picked up a really good Spanish coin, really cheap too. Both those were in auctions. So when I'm looking for numismatics, I'll go from auctions for smaller sellers, and maybe I'm taking a risk doing that, honestly. But remember, this is my strategy. It's not necessarily something that I recommend to everybody. Depends on what kind of risk you're willing to take. But I'm willing to take a large one. And for a numismatic, constitutional coins that do not have numismatic value, usually I'll just go, and buy them in as large an amount as I can. I'll go and I'll look for maybe someone who's selling rolls of silver nickels, let's say, right? And they'll be selling them for, let's say, I'm trying to think of a price that would be reasonable right now. I don't know, 45 a piece, right? 45 a roll. And, actually that might be a little low, but let's just say that's like a decent price, but not what you want to pay. What I would probably do is I would go and I'd offer them, $115 for 3 rolls, because otherwise, if you played 45 a roll, you'd be paying $135. You can save $20 right there, and chances are, if they're a smaller seller, again, they'll take it. Larger sellers, they can wait because they have a larger, buying audience, but these people, they're gonna probably end up taking your offer. And you know, it doesn't always work, but I've picked up some decent deals doing that. Like I'll see a roll of nickels, and I'll end up with 3 for, you know, and end up saving. Sometimes like you can even save like the cost of 1 roll. I mean, if you're buying enough. So remember, you have to have a decent amount of currency though, because really that's what's gonna you know, get you far. So I try to, for buying, I try to save up as much as I can before I do buy and then make larger purchases. When I'm buying, generally rule of thumb for me is nothing below 5 ounces of silver, so it's gotta be at least 5 ounces I'm ordering. That's what I like to go with though, honestly. So that's just me though. You know, maybe yours is lower or higher depending on how much currency you have and how much you're making. Now, next thing I want to talk about is my way of storing silver. So honestly, my strategy for that is just kind of, you know, inconspicuously. You know, I just kind of, I'm not going to tell you exactly where I store it. I'll give you one hint. It's not in these cans, okay? So I don't put any silver in these cans right here that I'm using to prop this up. But I do put silver in just an area that really doesn't look like anything worth touching, honestly. You know, I kind of like to hide it in plain sight almost. I mean, I'm not really too worried about someone breaking in or anything, but you never know. And so I put it where you don't really think to look usually. That's just my way of hiding it, I guess. That's the way of storing it. And just for storing options, you know, just not just hiding it from other people, but just for storing it, you know, I would just say, you know, honestly, just, you know, maybe a monster box. I mean, those are pretty good. They have a lot of storage in them, and you can actually fit a lot more than the 500 ounces that they're designed for. I've seen people who fit over 1,000 ounces into those things before, you know. But whatever it is, I mean, it's just get a decent sized box, honestly, and put your silver in it. If you have bars, especially, those are really easy to store. Rounds, not so much, but still not too tough. It really gets tougher when you start to have a lot of constitutional coins, though, or things with like large slabs or something like that. That's also going to be a little bit tougher. But bars and stuff like that, it's really easy to store in boxes. So that's kind of how I store my silver. Now, I mean, other than buying and storing, I can't really think of much else I do with it. I mean, you know, I guess that's just overall my strategy for when I'm stacking silver, you know. I'm trying to think of anything else to really talk about, but I don't think there is anything else, you know. When I buy my silver, and then I store it, and I put it away once I buy it. But that's just my strategy, so let me know yours in the comment section below. And that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace, love, and much respect.